Okay, New York, let's go. We are starting off in different groups. Tinsley is with the New York boxer with the Bret Michaels headband, and he kind of reminds me of like Leatherface. That's what it is. I was gonna say Michael Myers, but he reminds me of Leatherface. Big brute, like type of dude. And they're getting ready to box. Ramona and Sonia are hanging out, and then the rest of the girls are chilling. So we're starting things off with some working out and just being out in the city. So Tinsley's confiding in the boxer trainer, and we see what happened the last time she was with him, the crying and stuff. Tinsley and the crying cracks me up. But she just says, like, in her confessional, that this trainer just really gets her to be honest with herself and just to be honest about what's going on, which is interesting because a lot of people, including Dorinda, feel like Tinsley hasn't been honest about her relationship with Scott. They feel like she's been lying this whole time, that Bruce isn't real, that she's really been dating Scott on and off this whole time. And I mean, I don't know, like, it could be true. Tinsley could be lying about that. But I feel like even if she's lying about that, I want to cut her some slack because it's been hard for her. Like, he's been stringing her along. I don't know why she wants to be with this man, but she wants to be with this man. So it's been back and forth between them. I feel bad for her, like, that she's holding on to this relationship. I mean, they're engaged now, but this whole time, like, she's been fighting to be with this man. And there's, like, so many other guys out there that are just as successful, if not more, and better looking and would treat her better. But I feel like even if she's lying about that, I really just don't care. And Dorinda seems to really care about it. I feel like she's been like blasted herself on screen. She's shown herself cry multiple times. She's shown herself be weak. She's shown herself like be a hot ass mess. And I feel like that's showing herself. I feel like they're holding on to that one part of herself that she's not revealing. And I mean, it's reality, but not everybody shares everything. A lot of these women, including, especially on Beverly Hills, hide a lot of stuff. And it's fine that they get to keep being on the show, but like with Tinsley, it's like such a big problem, and I don't get it. So everybody's like screwing up names. The trainer is like, come on, pretend like I'm Dorita and let's fight. And she's like, who's Dorita? And she's like, Dorinda. And he's like, when did she change her names? Ramona's talking about Dorinda being hard on Tinsley, which is surprising. She's like, I feel like ever since she broke up with Brian or Bryce, whatever his name is, and then but his real name is Bruce. See, I can't even get his name right. Well, I can't get what Ramona said. She called him something else, but his name is Bruce. We're mixing up names. Dorinda's talking about how she doesn't even really care anymore, and she doesn't care about Tinsley. And Leah's right, like, for someone you don't care about, you talk an awful lot about her. Like, you talk about her all the time. You're always mad at her. She's always doing something to piss you off. When she barely, like, talks to you half the time, and you're pretending like you don't care when you care. And now they're talking about Tinsley with her overbearing which is true. But Tinsley can't handle the fighting in the ring, so she gets out. She runs away, and I hope she doesn't run away from Dorinda anymore. I feel like she's been doing a pretty good job of sticking up for herself, and I hope she continues that. So now the trainer has called Tinsley Tinsdale. See, the names. A mess. Tinsdale and Dorita. So I feel like Ramona hit the nail on the head. I feel like Dorinda is jealous of Tinsley, and other people have mentioned this. I've seen other reviewers mention this, that Dorinda is mad because Tinsley has always been taken care of. She grew up wealthy. She married into wealth. She divorced and she's still wealthy. Like, she's always been taken care of. And Dorinda married into wealth, but she's not always been wealthy. She's not always been rich. She married into wealth, and now she's like by herself. I mean, she's still rich, but she doesn't have like someone taking care of her and spending like being lavish with her. And Tinsley has that, and she's always had that. Like, even when she was like a hot mess and kicked out of her socialite scene, she was still rich and she was still wealthy, and she could still like afford like this lavish lifestyle. And I feel like she was only staying with Sonia to be on the show and to get her started on the show while she figured out where she wanted to live. And as soon as she figured out where she wanted to live, she's back to her her lavish lifestyle. And she even admitted that her family cut her off for a while because of her hot messness. That's the reason why she was with Sonia. She didn't have like the money like she was used to having, and she needed to stay with Sonia while she got her life back together. And then her family was like, all right, we see that you're doing better, and they gave her back her money. But they all just assumed that it was Scott providing this lifestyle. And I feel like Tinsley does not need Scott to be wealthy. She needs him because she wants a husband and she wants a family. She's wealthy all on her own. She does not need a man. Like, she just doesn't. And she's wealthy. She's always been that way. And Dorinda does not like that. She can't stand it. And they make fun of her for it. They make fun of Tinsley for it. And it's just jealousy. It's jealousy. And I wish they would just admit that, and then we could like move on and really understand where this anger is coming from. But since they're not, it's just like you're mad for no reason. But we really know the reason, you just won't admit it. So Luann has decided to come over to Leah's place. Leah's not feeling well, so Luann brought her some food and is shading the mess out of her apartment. Yes, like, we know New York apartments are small. We know it. So, like, I feel like it's a nice place. And Luann has no room to talk because they shaded the mess out of her place in upstate New York somewhere. I forgot where it was, but that little place was small and it wasn't in the city. So I feel like it shouldn't have been that small because you have plenty of space to have like a nicer place. So she shouldn't be shading anybody about their place. But now they're talking about the drink. Luann is kind of minimizing it. She says, oh, I was really thirsty. There was a glass. I thought it was water, so I went to take a drink. No, Ramona tried to stop you multiple times, telling you that it was vodka, and you drank it anyway. And you drank it anyway, and then you drank some more, and that's fine. Like, if you're like you said, you're off probation. If you want to have a drink, you can have a drink. If you want to drink, like, just drink now, then you can. Allegedly, I heard that this is not her first drink though, but they were like hyping it up for the show, allegedly, and I believe that. I believe that she's been drinking this whole time. Just probably not when she was having to blow into the thing, but I think after that was done, she was probably drinking, allegedly. But, and then Leah's like, yeah, I'm trying to, like, I don't want to give alcohol power over me, but I'm like, but when you drink, Leah, you're a hot ass mess, so it obviously does have some power over you, and you do lose some control. Like, I can't imagine, like, you wanted to act like that at someone's house and destroy their house, even though Ramona deserves it because she stays destroying other people's houses. So, like, there was something to it, and I loved how the favorite clip of Luann in the bushes, that's like my favorite clip ever, and I love every time they show it and bring it back, but it's like, it's a mess. I mean, and that's like drunk fun, but like, when you're like trying to assault police officers and getting out of your handcuffs, that's not drunk fun. You maybe not be an alcoholic, you're not an alcoholic, but you do have a drinking problem. And the same for Leah. Like, if you're getting into altercations with police officers and you're acting like a hot ass mess and destroying people's houses while you're drunk, you might have a bit of a problem, and people should be worried, right? Like, that just makes sense. Hopefully when she watches the season back and sees herself, she'll tone it down a bit with the drinking. Because, yeah, you're a hot ass mess. So Dorinda and John are broken up. I have been hearing about this, about their breakup, but I thought it was like now, like after the show. I didn't know they were going to show it during the show. So they're broken up. Dorinda is ready to move on. She said she tells Sonia that she's ready to be selfish with her life, and I honestly feel like she's been selfish in that relationship. Like, I am not a fan of John's. He's been gross ever since he's been on. He's been rude to the women. He's just got nasty behavior. And so I've never been a fan of him. But I feel like Dorinda was always like, you can't stay at my place. You can't have your things at my place. I don't want to move in with you. You can come over when I say. And so it was just like, I feel like their whole relationships have been very selfish. And John was probably just like, all right, like, this woman doesn't love me like she says she does, so she probably won't mind if I go out and try to hit on other ladies and try to get somebody who does want me. So I feel like he's just been like that this whole time, like, going off of her vibes, and she's like, she wants him when she wants him, and she doesn't when she doesn't. So I think this breakup is good for the both of them. I feel like she's been selfish in the relationship the whole time, and now this just gives her the chance to find somebody better, and hopefully she can find someone like Richard, because I feel like she's been holding on to that for a very long time, and which is understandable because he was her husband. So hopefully she can find someone like that who can be her partner and take care of her, because I feel like she really wants to be taken care of. And hopefully John can find someone that really likes him. It just, it only felt like Dorinda liked him when somebody else was talking bad about him. Then she would run to his defense. But otherwise, she just didn't seem like she liked him that much. So now Luann has decided that, like, they should do something for Dorinda, and they're going to go apple picking. I didn't know that was something you did with your friend to help them after a breakup. Apple picking? Okay. So at least this apple picking place has a wine tasting area, because I would much rather be down for the wine tasting than the hayride and the apple picking. Like, what kind of a breakup fun time is this? Maybe it's like an older generation thing, but I know if I was like breaking up with someone, I want to go and like have fun. Like, but maybe this is fun for them. I want to go like to the wine tasting. That would be fun. And maybe stay at a nice like bed and breakfast or a really nice hotel. But I'm not trying to do no apple picking and hay rides and after a breakup. No. Leah doesn't seem excited about this. They're all talking about, yeah, we're gonna get some apple cider and blah blah blah, and Leah's just like, yeah, okay, whatever. Sonia doesn't seem excited about drinking. I don't blame her, because she's been drinking a lot, and you can start to tell, like, when Sonia's been drinking a lot, she gets really puffy, and I feel like she's due for another like drinking cleanse, because yeah, you could start to see it in her face. She just gets really puffy, and I feel like she's been drinking a lot, and she probably does need a break. But they're driving a long ass time. This is what I don't miss about the city, is that anytime you want to go outside of the city to do like something like wine tasting or anything, it takes like 5 hours just to go somewhere outside of the city, which is why a lot of people don't leave the city, because it's just like, I have everything here. I do not feel like venturing out 5-10 hours just to go somewhere else nice. I do not miss that. So I forgot that Elise was here. I think she's like a friend of the show, but I think she's a friend of Ramona's, because yeah, when they're talking, she like wipes food off Ramona's mouth for her, which is weird. I would like let my friend know that they have food on their mouth, but I wouldn't go and reach over and touch their face. Ew. But she's the messy one. She's been the messy one this whole season. Like, I think she started from day 1, I'm not sure, of this season. And she brings up, John, asked Dorinda about John. Dorinda shares some, and she's just like, it's been hard, 7 years, but I'm not the same person. Like, Ramona's like, you were broken. Like, you were a broken person. You were grieving a death, and this person came in to help, but you don't really need him anymore, which makes sense. It makes complete sense. But then she's like, I don't really want to share this stuff because I don't want to be judged. And Tinsley's like, hello, this is why I didn't want to share my stuff with you guys, because you judged me. I shared my stuff. I told you that I was breaking up with Scott, and that we were back together, and that we were breaking up, and that it was really hard, and all you guys did was judge me. Maybe not the right time, but I feel I feel Tinsley. I get that she's pissed because it's like, okay, so we're supposed to baby you, but when I was going through a mess with my breakup, you just ripped me to shreds. So I definitely understand where Tinsley's coming from, but maybe not the right time, and they're about to go to battle, and I hope Tinsley's ready. Lord, Dorinda. It's hard because I really did used to like Dorinda. She was funny. Even when she was like mean, it was still funny. But I think ever since she like ripped into Luann, I have not been feeling Dorinda like at all. And even though like her and Luann like have made up, like I feel like she finds like a new target. I don't mind when she's mean to Ramona because most of the time Ramona deserves it. Which is why like Ramona's so glad that Tinsley's here because she's like better her than me. But I feel like that's also why she's like sticking up for Tinsley because she knows the wrath of Dorinda. I don't think it's just not nice. It's not funny. It's cringy the way Dorinda comes after people. She's just shading the mess out of Tinsley for no reason, and Tinsley's just like done with it. She's like, you're a hypocrite. Like, you rip me apart about my relationship, but we can't talk about yours. And yeah, they're comparing. It's not good to compare, but like Tinsley was married and she knows what it's like to be a wife, and like you just rip on this Scott relationship, but she's like, this is not the only relationship that I've had. And so Elise, the shady one, is trying to get Dorinda to say something nice about Tinsley. She says she needs a nap. And Tinsley's just like, you're a bully and you're mean. And I feel like that's true. Like, everybody sees it. Everybody sees how nasty and mean Dorinda is being to Tinsley for no reason other than jealousy. And it's like, enough. Like, enough, Dorinda. Like, I can't with her. I can't. The only time I was starting to like her was when her and Luann were trying to get back to being friends, and Luann was being nasty about the fish room. Then I felt like Luann, like, I was so not on Luann's side that last season. Was not on her side. And I felt bad for Dorinda. I felt like Dorinda was really trying and Luann was just being a nasty beast. But like now, like, Dorinda's coming back to her nasty beast self. Like, I cannot be on her side on this. She needs to let it go. Tinsley is crying now. I get it. Like, sometimes when I'm frustrated, like when you're mad, sometimes you just get to that point of tears, and it's annoying, but it happens. Luann's trying to calm her down. It's not working. We're back at the table. Elise, being the messy one, is trying to get Dorinda to see, like, how nasty she's being, and she won't. And she's like, these people know me. They know that I'm not a nasty, mean person. I'm like, do they, though? I think they know that you're a nasty, mean person. I think they probably wouldn't say it to your face, but behind your back, they would definitely agree that you're, like, they would admit that you're a nasty, mean person. You're just mean for no reason. And the only reason why Sonia is sticking up for Dorinda is because she's jealous of Tinsley, too. She's jealous and she's mad, and she's been mad at Tinsley ever since Tinsley came to stay with her and wasn't all over her. And then when Tinsley was able to get her money back and upgrade her life, and Sonia was stuck at the townhouse by herself, she was mad. She's been mad at Tinsley ever since, and she won't let it go either. And that's why she keeps coming to Dorinda's defense. Thank you. Elise, in her confessionals, like, I'm scared of Dorinda. She is such an angry person. I mean, like, and I get why these women are scared of her. If I were them, I would be scared of her too. Not for me, though. I would not let her get away with the stuff that she gets away with. I just wouldn't. But I get why these women are scared of her, because she can be scary. And I'm sure to them, it's like, they rather just, like, not deal with it. So, but at least it's hilarious, because she is a scary, angry person. She just is. We have no more, I made it nice. It's now, I've served it warm. And Dorinda is, like, losing it. Emotional breakdown. I feel for her. Like, I can't imagine. I don't ever want to imagine losing my husband, so I can't imagine. She obviously is still broken from that. She's never properly healed from that. I don't know how you get over that, but it still doesn't give you the right to take it out on people. And I agree with Leah. Like, what does this have to do with Tinsley? Yes, of course, like, it's devastating that you lost your husband and that you're falling apart, and it's hard, unimaginable. But like, seek some help, get some therapy, and really, like, try to move on the best that you can. But that doesn't mean that you can like rip into people and rip into their relationships. And I think it just stems from jealousy. Like, she is jealous of Tinsley having this fairy tale life, even though like Tinsley's been struggling too. She wants a husband, she wants a kid, and she's had a divorce. It's like, of course, like, she's this rich, wealthy one percenter, but like, she's still like having her issues as well. And like, Dorinda's just not, she refuses to see her side, refuses to have any sympathy for her, but she wants Tinsley to have compassion for her. And I just don't feel like that's fair. And then Dorinda starts talking about how, like, when Richard died, she was almost an alcoholic. And I feel like, allegedly, I feel like she is an alcoholic. And she probably was an alcoholic after he died and has been one ever since. Because when she drinks, we've seen it. If Bethany's called her out on it, when she drinks, she is a tyrant. And like, we're watching it now. She's mean and nasty, and she does and says horrible things. And like, I get it. Like, after your husband died, I get you being an alcoholic. I get it. I feel like it's understandable. But like, now, like, to have it like years and still be this way, but you won't admit it and you won't own up to like that you, even if you're not an alcoholic, that you have a drinking problem, that when you drink you turn into a really mean, nasty person. I feel like Dorinda just needs to stop BSing and just own up to it and get some help. And I feel like Ramona is seeing it. That's why she's not saying too much. Ramona is seeing it, and Leah is definitely seeing it. And I hope the rest of them come to light and really like get her the help that she needs, because she has like an anger problem and she has allegedly a drinking problem. So now we went from the arguing to everyone seems to have calmed down a bit. Tinsley has climbed a tree, so she's a little more relaxed. They're on this hayride that lasted all of like 10 minutes, and now they're in a corn maze. This is so much fun, Luann. This is why I wouldn't go in the maze. Now they're lost. They're split up into different groups. Dorinda is like slurring drunk, and she's gone the wrong way. Sonia is slurring drunk. They're like, I think they actually went the right way, but it's like it's a huge maze. I'm not doing this and getting lost. Have you ever seen that film In the Tall Trees or something like that? This is why I would never go in a maze. Don't watch that movie and then don't go to no apple picking corn maze place, because you won't go in. You won't. You'll be terrified. I would not do this. So then we hear this blood-curdling scream from Tinsley. And everybody's like, oh my gosh, what's going on? And then we cut to Sonia and Leah peeing in the corn maze because they couldn't hold it because they're lost. And this is why I would not do the corn maze. Now they're peeing on television, and Tinsley is horrified. And I would be too. So Ramona's being like a really good friend and just like listening to Dorinda, comforting her, and she just realizes that her friend is in a lot of pain, and Dorinda just doesn't know how to handle this breakup or this stage in her life. And in Ramona's confessional, she's just suffering, and she's just going through a lot of pain. And you know, like, who's suffering from this? We're suffering. So of course, Ramona goes from being like a really good friend to turning it on back to her. Like, I'm having to deal with this hot mess of anger and rage, and I'm suffering from this. It's so Ramona. It's like classic Ramona. It all comes back to how it's affecting Ramona. So now they're like drinking wine. They've come into this little the winery part, and they're drinking wine, and Sonia's a hot ass mess, and Luann's acting like all surprised. Like, every time Sonia drinks, then she's like a caricature of herself. Duh, like, what show have you been on? Sonia's always been this way when she drinks. And she was shooting her shot with the owner of the place earlier. That didn't work out. Now she's like talking about sex in front of the guy who's telling them about the wine. I forgot what it's called. And Ramona chimes in and is like, Sonia, you look like you need, like, when's the last time you've had sex? Because you look a little bit needy. And Sonia's like, well, I had sex last night. Did you? And Ramona's like, no. He was like, come for me if you want to, but I had sex last night. And then she tells everyone she's been pounded. So, TMI, Sonia, but good for you. Good for you. So even Leah's dead. And then even the dude is like commenting and is like whispering to Luann, like, that's a little bit of a hot mess over there. And I'm glad, like, Luann talks shade about Sonia, but like to the outside world, like, I love it when people are like, they can talk mess about their friends, but you can't talk about mess about their friends, because I'm the same way. Like, I can talk mess about my friends and family, but you can't. And she was like, well, she's our little hot mess. Like, she stuck up for Sonia. And now they're talking about getting dick pics and stuff, and nobody wants to see, like, well, the dude is saying, like, nobody wants to see a naked man. Well, like, of course you don't. If you're straight, you don't want to see a naked man, but women do. But Luann says that she's never been sent a dick pic. I don't believe her, but she said she doesn't like dick pics, and I was like, who does? Nobody wants a dick pic. Nobody. Even if it's the love of your life, you do not want a dick pic. You just don't. They're not like, surprise dick pic. It's like surprise dick pic. That's how it is, and nobody wants that. Sonia is a sloppy, drunk, shady mess. They're talking about small dicks now, and then like Tinsley tries to say, like, it doesn't always matter the size of the dick. Like, what if you like really love them and care about them? And Leah's like, I ain't got time for that. And Sonia's like, well, she'll touch anything with a small dick as long as it gives her a bracelet. Rude, Sonia. Very, very rude. There's more sex talk, and now we're done with this episode. Okay, so to wrap it up, Dorinda's a hot-ass mess. Sonia's a drunken hot-ass mess, and Dorinda's a mean, bully hot-ass mess. And we're gonna see in the next episode that her and Ramona, I feel like it was only a matter of time. Her and Ramona, it's like this dance of we're getting along, and then I dip ya and drop ya, and like they start fighting again. And I think like Ramona's had it with Dorinda, especially like now that she's just being so vicious. And so we're gonna see that play out. I'm more for like Tinsley standing up for herself. I wish she could speak clearer and just throw those jabs, because she has some good jabs. They just don't always come out when she wants them to. We're like, we all suffer from that. Sometimes it's like not until like we're away from it to where we're like, damn, I wish I said that. But I wish she was quicker with it, because Dorinda's like slicing her up. And yeah, so we'll see. Yeah, so let me know what you thought of this episode. Please like and subscribe to stephandkeytv, and ring that bell if you want to be notified when I have a new video coming out, and I'll see you soon. Bye.